All right, y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe like I always tell y'all to do in the beginning and the end of my videos. I'm King Tyson. Before we start, if you got a question you want to ask me, if you want some advice about something, or you have an idea for my next video, write me, KingTyson713@yahoo.com. I will try to respond back to you as soon as possible. I will not keep you waiting long, y'all. It's free. I'm not charging y'all to answer some of y'all questions, or you want my advice about something. I'm not gonna charge y'all. You just write me, I'll write you back. So look, check it out. This video is for the fellas. This video is for passive men when in relationships. It's like this: when you're a passive person, passive people tend to get taken advantage of because they're so passive. They just go with the flow on everything. They have no issues. Well, even if they have issues, they don't want to bring it up. They don't want confrontation, and they just let the other person just walk all over them. When a person you with in a relationship sees that you are a person who don't really respond to things, it's easier for that person to walk over you. And fellas, I know as men, we do not like to argue. Typically, we don't like to argue. We're not argumentative at all. Mostly the ones who are argumentative are mainly women, right? So men who are very passive people tend to end up with very non-passive people, right? So it's like if you're a very passive person, the person you normally choose is going to be the person who's outspoken more, who's very confrontational, in your face. If you ever notice that, those passive people attract those type of people, right? And it's like the dynamic works for the most part because a more aggressive person can talk almost for the passive person. Now, to my fellas, this is why I say to my fellas that's passive, brothers, you have to say something in a relationship. I don't care how much the woman goes off, how much you don't feel like the argument, how much you don't want to hear her mouth. Say what's on your mind. I tell this to all men. Men, say what's on your mind, because if you don't say what's on your mind, you're going to be in a relationship that you're going to start regretting. You're going to be in a relationship, you're going to start having, you're going to start resenting the woman that you're with. So this is the reason why I tell fellas all the time, fellas, you got to say what's on your mind in a relationship. Don't just let her just be. Let her just don't say anything. Whatever's in your mind, whether she shoots it down or she don't want to hear what you're saying. Because people typically say that they don't hear what you like. It's like you telling them something, even if they say, I'm not trying to listen to what you're saying, it still registers some type of way. That's like if you're arguing with a person over the phone, a text message, right? And you sit alone, you know, we get those as fellas, you know, we're arguing with our girl and we say a couple of words and the woman says a whole thread. Men, we don't really respond, but y'all know, fellas, we gonna look at that text. We gonna read the whole thing like, man, this girl tripping. You know, but we still read it. Ladies, when y'all send us those long text messages and you want us to read it, and even if the man really don't respond, he read it. He just ain't trying to respond to it. Men's like, oh, she texted again. I ain't reading none of this. No, 9 times out of 10, as men, we read it. We just don't want to respond because we don't want to keep you going. Because if you sent that long text message, if we keep responding, you're going to send an even longer text message and an even longer. So we want it to stop, so we just don't say nothing. And normally, women hate to be ignored. So when we ignore a woman and you're having an argument over text message, that means y'all not in the same vicinity. I guarantee you, she come knocking on your door because she still want to talk. That's how women are. But anyway, no, fellas, for my very passive brothers, it's okay to be passive to a certain extent. I just don't want you to get taken advantage of when you're a passive person, and that's not even to do in a relationship, just in life. When you're a passive person, you will be taken advantage of, whether it comes to a career, you know. If you know you work hard and you work just as hard as the next person and you want to move up, if you never say anything to your employer, they'll never consider you for the position because you're very passive. Not rarely that a job comes to you directly and say, hey, I want you to be my next manager, my next supervisor. If you don't say anything, if you don't show initiative that you can step into this supervisory role, they won't acknowledge you. They'll say that he's a good worker, but if you never say anything, they're not gonna know. So this is why I say, if you're a passive person, learn to practice that. Learn to practice not being so passive. Start saying what's on your mind. And that's the reason why I related it to the relationship when it comes to relationships, because when you're a passive person, you will have resentment because you don't always feel like that. You feel like it's something that you want to say, but you just so passive. You just let that woman just, go off and do all that. And it's almost like she running over you. And you just take it because you passive. No, fellas, stop being passive in relationships. Say what's on your mind. And as women love feedback and engagement and talking and communication. So a woman, whether it's right or wrong, one thing about a woman, let me tell you something, fellas, about a woman. You know what the crazy thing about a woman? Even if you dead wrong, if you tell a woman the truth, like, hey, listen, baby, I know I was wrong, but look, this is X, Y, Z. It's either take it or leave it. This is what it is. A woman, you know what a woman gonna say? Instead of you lying, a woman gonna say, I respect that you was straight up honest with me. You was straight real with me. You told me you ain't sugarcoat nothing. A woman will respect honesty. So a woman will respect open dialogue and open conversation. So that's my advice for brothers who are passive, is that, brothers, stop being so passive in relationships. Stop letting your woman just go out, fly off the handle, and you're not saying anything. A lot of times passive men tend to not, and this is a lot of the times. Like I said, it's always exceptions to the rules, but a lot of times men that are passive, they typically tend to lean on women for finances. And it's like they don't say anything because they know that, hey, I'm on the worst end of the stick. So that means that if I say too much, she gets mad, she can put me out, and I ain't got nowhere to go. So a lot of times men who are passive, they in like a situation where where the woman is the lead financially. So normally men who are the lead financially, they're not as passive. Sometimes they will be, but a lot of the times men are passive because of finances, and a woman has the upper hand. So that tends to be why some men are passive. But men, if you taking care of your business, don't be passive at all. Say what you gotta say. It's on your mind. Stand up on your 10 toes, your two as a man, and you tell a woman how you feel. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm King Tyson. Peace and blessings. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I always tell y'all, one love. I'm out.